When my buddies heard that I'm getting a Porsche to review for the week, they were all excited. And the next question was, well, which Porsche are you getting? You getting the 911? Are you getting the Panamera? I said, no, I'm getting the Boxster. And they looked at me and said, well, okay, but that's not really a Porsche, is it? Of course it is. You know, the history of the Boxster goes all the way back to 1996 when Porsche recognized that they needed to expand their brand. They needed to expand their lineup. They wanted to get some entry-level buyers, so to speak, into the Porsche brand, and they did it quite successfully with the original Boxster. Now that one had a 2.5-liter engine, wasn't the fastest car in the world, but it still had a lot of the Porsche dynamics that you expect in every single vehicle. One of the benefits of the mid-engine design of the Porsche Boxster is the enormous amount of cargo space, relatively, that you get in a small roadster. So as you can see, this front cargo area is rather large. You could easily put 4 or 5 grocery bags in here, but that's not where it stops. You come to the back, you've got another relatively large cargo area. So when you compare this vehicle to the others in the segment, like the Z4, the TT, or the SLK, it has a lot more cargo space. Another reason Porsche is able to get so much cargo space out of a relatively small form factor is the use of a soft top. Being a Porsche, this vehicle is almost perfectly balanced, 50% in the front, 50% in the rear. And that's thanks to rear-wheel drive and a mid-engine design. There are 2 engine options for the Boxster. The base model shown here gets a 2.7-liter flat 6 that produces 255 horsepower. The upgraded model, the Boxster S, gets a 3.4-liter flat 6 that produces 310 horsepower. Besides the obvious exterior design cues that give this car away as a Porsche, you have a couple things on the interior. For example, the center gauge is a tachometer, not a speedometer like most vehicles, a tachometer, because that's what's most important about this car or any racing car. It's all about the RPMs and how fast the engine is revving. The other thing Porsche does is put the ignition key on the left side. There are 2 transmission options with every Boxster. Standard is a 6-speed manual. Optional is a 7-speed PDK, which is Porsche's twin clutch, which is unbelievable and shifts faster than any human can. Porsche took great lengths to make sure that this roof was extremely quiet even at high speeds. Not only that, it only takes about 12 seconds to put the top down. Even though this is a base level Porsche, it only has 255 horsepower. Keep in mind that this is one of the lightest vehicles you can buy. It weighs under 3,000 pounds, and that's what it comes down to in racing and in any kind of performance car. It's all about the power to weight ratio. So 255 horsepower to around 3,000 pounds, that's pretty good. If you go to the Boxster S, now you're talking 310 horsepower to 3,000 pounds. That's even better. If you check out any of the competitors, the SLK, the TT, even the Z4, they're considerably heavier than the Boxster. Some critics will complain that the Boxster is more of a lifestyle car and not as much of a performance car, but I disagree, because even though it doesn't get you to 60 as fast as some of the other cars out there, it's still a great driver's car and a great opportunity to learn. You don't want to learn on a 500 horsepower car how to properly drive around apexes. What you want to do is learn on a vehicle like this. It's lightweight, rear-wheel drive, manual transmission, all the necessities. Even the steering wheel, in my opinion, is designed to be a performance steering wheel. You don't see any controls on here. That's because Porsche wants you to focus on driving. So how much will a Boxster run you? Well, considering that this is the 2nd generation Boxster and for the 2012 is the end of the run for this 2nd generation, you can get these starting at just over $50,000. Nicely equipped, as you see here, around $60,000, Boxster S closer to $70,000. That's not too bad when you consider the competition and consider this is a Porsche.